Hey folks, welcome back to Skyward Sword. We are here in the past in Hylea's realm, and Demise just woke up. He wants to kill everything, and we need to go stop him. He's waiting for us over past the point of no return. So, if you're not ready, go heal up, grab some potions, grab some fairies, and then head through the portal. If you are ready, like me, just throw caution to the wind and walk straight in. Your sentiments are appreciated, Fee. So let's talk about Demise as a villain a little bit, because he is such a counterpoint to Girahim. Girahim is, like, quick-witted, and sly, and thin, and crafty, and Demise is basically a pure embodiment of malice, and force, and bulk. It's like, his size kind of parallels the anger that he feels. But at the same time, he's a lot simpler. He's a lot less interesting. He's just pure malice. He's one-note kind of villain. And while that can be refreshing to a point, he's, like, pretty simple. And also, he isn't really the same villain we've been fighting throughout the game. We've been fighting the Imprisoned, which is a big, adorable, derpy thing. And even though he's technically the same thing, he's so different that he doesn't feel like the same villain. He's basically a new villain thrown in at the end. I would have been perfectly happy if Girahim were the final ending, final boss. But Demise has his own reasons for being here. Also, he looks fucking badass, alright? Look at him. Look at those sideburns. You see those sideburns? Freaking amazing. Best sideburns. And here we are, the final boss, Demise. Now, Demise is basically a straight-up sword fight, except he'll punch you sometimes. He likes to punch you and slash the hell out of him. And, first phase is actually pretty straightforward. Again, learning to parry is a very good tactic, because even though he doesn't flinch much, parrying will prevent you from being knocked back by his attacks. Even if you're blocking, you'll be knocked back and lose your stance unless you parry. So you'll want to parry in order to actually be able to get attacks in on it. And sometimes you can get pretty fast-paced. You'll need to switch from slashing to parrying rather quickly. And you can always play cautious if necessary, but I've done that first phase a lot. And here we go, the final phase of the final boss. Now this boss fight is basically focused around the idea of catching lightning in your sword, much like a Skyward Strike, and then shooting at each other to do damage or to stun them. So the deal is he will try to capture lightning in his sword, but you can do the same thing, and that will allow you to stun him and inflict a lot of damage. You can damage him through other means, but it's nowhere near as reliable. So just use the lightning. Some people had trouble figuring out that you could use the lightning, but Fee tells you if you ask, so okay, whatever. I had trouble with some of the timing here. I admit this is not my finest work, but I would like to blame the lightning strikes a little bit, because when you are in the lightning catching pose, you are frozen for a little while, and he can attack you during that time frame. So it's actually good to try to catch lightning when you have a fair bit of distance, but I was not doing that. Anyway, he can also shoot lightning at you, clearly. That's probably how you would first determine what was going on. Alright, and final blow. Hey, you can't... You're not supposed to be able to do that. It's supposed to be the killing blow. Alright, let's do this again. Okay, let's go. One more time. Oh, come on, I totally went through you. What are you talking about? Alright, one more lightning strike. Come on. Let's do this. Come on, lightning. Ah, yeah, you can cancel out his lightning there, which is pretty cool and tricky. Overall, Demise can do a decent amount of damage to you if you're bad with your timing or just unlucky. But master your backflips, basically, is the moral of the story. Alright, here we go. Final blow. Let's go. And he's down. I do like this little bit of character development that Demise gets here. He starts out thinking that all humans are just puny, worthless, powerless little dudes. But now that he's been bested by one, he's like, well dang, you guys can actually do something. Now, this idea about a cycle with no end, a constant, never-ending battle between good and evil, you know, like, for as long as there is good, evil will rise up against it, and vice versa. It's pretty common, but it is thematically fitting for the series. You know, this is an origin story, and having Demise as this origin of hatred for the rest of the series makes sense. It's thematically fitting. It is a little ham-fisted to have Incarnation in color text, because I think it was obvious enough just from Demise's appearance. But whatever. I'll see you in Ocarina of Time, Demise. I do like this little bit right here. I love the idea of evil being sealed within the Master Sword, because it does create a very nice physical, literal representation of how good and evil are forced to coexist. Well, you had to know this was coming. Having vanquished all the evil and accomplished all our goals, it is time to put the Master Sword back in its pedestal, and let it sleep until the next hero needs it. And that means Fi goes along with it. Now this is supposed to be hard on the player. You know, putting this companion with whom we've gone through trials and tribulations throughout the entire game, putting this partner into an eternal sleep, it's a little depressing. It's depressing when Zelda did it earlier on. But the difference here is that nobody likes Fi. She's 95% redundant and unhelpful, and she has no endearing qualities about her character personality. The only thing I can say that's good about her is her visual design. No one's gonna miss this character. See, the only expression that Link can come up with is disbelief. Not regret, not sadness. So this goodbye sequence is trying to be reminiscent of the end of Ocarina of Time, where Navi flies away and you're supposed to be sad. But that wasn't very sad either, because all Navi did was tell you to listen. Nobody liked her. So here's the thing. Apparently, like, Fi went through a character arc, but didn't tell us. Like, she came to appreciate this relationship and see us as a friend, but she never told us. So we never saw it. So instead, we're just given this dump at the end to say, hey, she totally had a character arc. She was totally likable. But that's not how you write things. It doesn't work like that. It needs to grow. You need to create this relationship with her and have both sides mutually understand it as it becomes something more. It doesn't work like this. You're welcome, Fi. That's some good facial animation on Link there. That's the only good thing I can say about this scene. That's pretty good. And the Master Sword sleeps again, for the time being. Look at that face. He does not miss her at all. He's a little bit happy, even. Now then, to contrast with that really ineffectual parting scene, let's have an effective one. There's actually a lot of parallels here between Zelda and Impa compared to Link and Fi, because both Fi and Impa were kind of guardians and guides assigned by the goddess to help this chosen person. But while Fi popped out and told you that your batteries were low, Impa took it as a personal affront when Link was late and couldn't help Zelda at the end of the Earth Temple, and went to extreme measures to protect Zelda when they were escaping through the Gate of Time, and waited outside Zelda's room for God knows how long while she was sleeping, just to make sure she was alright. She did these little things that were so much more meaningful than anything Fi ever did. And you can tell the expressions on Zelda's face here. She's so much more invested in Impa than Link was in Fi. Link had a level like, oh, that's so sweet, Fi. And here Zelda's like, legit sad. Look at that, it's like, ugh. So much stronger. So much stronger. And this is the last kind of punch of Zelda's forced motivation. She's still bound by what the goddess has said and determined, against her own personal wishes. Even though the evil is done, she still isn't quite free. Now, I love what they've done here. Here, Link and Groose have established this strong relationship with Granny here, and now it's finally revealed that so is Zelda. It's just in her own special way. I love that, it's so clever. This trio of characters develops a relationship with the same character, but in two different time periods. It's really neat. I mean, admittedly, the relationship between Link and Granny isn't that great, but Groose and Granny is definitely pretty strong. Goodbye, Impa. I will actually miss you. See ya, folks. This has been Skyward Sword. Bye.